what sin has damaged. The readings today present us with two different temptation stories. That of Adam and Eve in the first reading, and then that of Jesus in the gospel, with Satan as the tempter in all cases. The striking difference is that while Jesus, coming out of a movement of prayer and deep reflection, overcame the devil in all of the three temptations, Adam and Eve, probably distracted in the Garden of Eden, could not stand their ground. They fell to the serpent's tactics. Brothers and sisters, we must remember that temptation in itself is not a sin. However, it can lead us to sin. Today's readings take us to the very heart of human drama. In Genesis, we stand in the Garden of Eden. Humanity is created in intimacy with God. There is harmony, trust, and abundance. But temptation enters, not through force, but through suggestion. Because when the devil came, he didn't force Adam and Eve to eat of the fruits. He only suggested to who? To Eve. And the serpent, by that, plants doubt in the heart of man. Hear what the serpent said to Eve. Did God really say that you should not eat of these fruits? Did God really say you should not eat of these fruits? By that, sin begins not with action, but with suspicion. Suspicion about God's goodness. Suspicion about God's intentions. Suspicion about everything that has to do with God. Adam and Eve fall because they begin to believe that God is withholding something from them. All this while they didn't know that God was withholding anything until when the devil came and planted doubts in their minds. This is what I say you should not do. Are you sure? You know, it's perhaps if you do this, you will be like God. Then they started doubting. This could be true. Is there something that God is hiding from us? Glory to Jesus. The root of sin is distrust. At that moment, they did not longer trust God. In the gospel text, we move from a Garden of Eden to a wilderness. But this time, it is not longer Adam and Eve who stand before temptation, but Christ, the new Adam. St. Paul tells us in Romans, in our second reading, through one man sin entered the world, but through one man grace abounded all the more. Where the first Adam failed, the second Adam, Christ, stands firm. Matthew presents three temptations that summarize every struggle we face in life. This gospel suggests that three things test us in life. And what are these three things? Number one is scarcity. Number two is threat. And number three is doubt. These three things leads us to sin in this life. Now, the first time that the devil tests Jesus, the issue is scarcity. We are told that Jesus was hungry and there was no bread. Scarcity can be a tremendous test for us because when something which is essential to our life is in short supply, we are indeed in need. These could be some material things, such as the loss of employment, or a crisis that devastates us financially. But it could also be a personal issue, such as a scarcity of love, questioning whether we will ever find someone with whom we can share our life, being afraid that the love in our marriage is dying, or grieving the loss of a loved one in death, and wondering whether we will ever love again. Whether material scarcity or personal scarcity, brothers and sisters, where there is not enough, we are all tested, and we wonder how we will survive. Jesus, we are told, was hungry, and then the devil came to him. Turn these stones into bread. This is a temptation to believe that survival is everything. When we experience scarcity, being in financial crisis, job loss, emotional loneliness, lack of recognition, we are tested. Scarcity whispers, secure yourself at all costs. But Jesus replied, man does not live by bread alone. He refuses to reduce life to material satisfaction. He chooses trust over panic. How often do we compromise our values and standards simply because we fear not having enough? The second time the devil tempts Jesus, he places him in a threatening situation on the parapet of the temple and asks him to jump down. When evil approaches us in our life, we are threatened. It might be a physical evil such as sickness or depression. It could also be a personal evil such as friend who betrays us, or anger, or jealousy, or discontent in our family. When such evil approaches us, our life is threatened, and we are tested, wondering whether we will be able to face the future. We face this when life threatens us. It could be illness, betrayal, depression, uncertainty. We want dramatic signs. We want guarantees. But Jesus answers, you shall not put the Lord your God to the test. Faith is not control.